International students in Australia are more than struggling with the threat of the deadly coronavirus disease. To tell us why, one of our correspondents in Australia will tell us why live. Marvy?
Kath, at least 60% of international students working and studying here in Australia are now homeless and going hungry due to the COVID-19 crisis, according to a nationwide survey. Despite having to pay an average of more than 30,000 Australian dollars or 100,000 pesos a year to study in Australia, international students have not been eligible for government benefit schemes during the COVID-19 crisis. This has prompted queues at restaurants and food banks for free meals. That's their plight now. And at the start of the pandemic, there were more than 500,000 international students in the country without access to job seeker and job keeper payments. Between March and May this year, the Union's New South Wales conducted a nationwide survey of more than 5,000 temporary visa holders. 67% of those were on a student visa. Survey data released just this Monday found that an alarming 60% of international student responders had lost their jobs, and 39% did not have enough income to cover for basic living expenses. The nationwide survey also revealed that 34% were already homeless or close to being evicted by their landlords because they could not afford to pay rent. 26% opted to share a bedroom to help reduce costs, and a worrying 46% they were also forced to skip meals on a regular basis. Recent results from another national survey of temporary migrants conducted by Union's New South Wales in collaboration with the University of Technology Sydney show that financial hardship among the cohort is likely to only worsen over the coming months, especially in the disaster-stricken state of Victoria, currently battling to contain its second wave of COVID-19 outbreaks. Kath?
Marvy, what are international students, or perhaps they have unions? What are they doing about their present plight?
Well, their situation has elicited calls for the Australian government to extend its job seeker and job keeper schemes to international student visa holders to follow countries like the UK, Canada, New Zealand, and Ireland, who have already done so with their wage subsidies. However, with the nation's current economic crisis, extending job seeker and job keeper to all temporary visa holders would cost an extra $20 billion over 6 months. But the Union's New South Wales warns that without financial support from the government's welfare services, not only are international students being driven into poverty. What's more, the desperation to regain employment exposes the 500,000 international students into greater risk of exploitation. Also, wage theft has been part of the problem, as temporary visa workers report more businesses to the Fair Work Ombudsman for paying rates below the minimum wage in the country. Kath?
Marvy, what about the government? What's the government doing about this?
Meanwhile, to help restart the international education sector pummeled by the coronavirus pandemic, Trade, Tourism and Investment Minister Simon Birmingham announced on Sunday the launch of a pilot program where up to 300 students from China, Japan, Hong Kong and Singapore will fly into the South Australian capital of Adelaide in early September. The first batch of students and their universities will pay for the cost of travel and quarantine at an Adelaide hotel, which can accommodate up to 1,000 people at any one time. The first flights in September are set to increase pressure on other states of Australia to follow as the university sector sheds thousands of jobs to manage the downturn in revenue. Kath?
Thank you, Marvy, reporting live from Perth, Australia.